A lot of people asked us like, okay, so are you like all for dating? And we were like, no, no, it's like.
So what are the pros and cons of having, again, twins marrying twins?
We didn't even have to discuss it. We would all live together, we would share finances, we would raise our children together.
All right, so we're here with the Salyer Twins. That's how you say it, right?
Yes, you got it.
So what's the rundown? How do we all meet? How did this all get started?
We met at a Twins festival in a place called Twinsburg, Ohio. It's this town founded by twin brothers, and there's an annual festival every year for multiples around the world, and we all showed up the same year, and we ran into them the last night of the festival in the hallway of this conference center where there was like this adult twin party going on.
We'd actually seen each other throughout the festival, when we were recollecting it,
Right.
They said they'd seen us, we had seen them, but we didn't actually have the opportunity to talk, so like right at the very end.
Yeah. Stars
Yeah,
aligned.
thankfully they were coming in the hotel as we were leaving, and we met in the hallway, the front of the hotel, and
Yep.
tractor beamed. And, the rest is.
So I asked Josh and Jeremy when we were getting ice cream of what they said to each other after they had met you guys. Do you guys know what they had said? If you don't.
I think they kind of liked us.
Okay, well, yeah, you guys tell them.
I heard they had told their mom pretty quickly after the festival that they were going to marry us. I don't know if that was
We
what.
did. Yeah, as soon as when we got home, we didn't go straight to my mom's house, but after we got back, we went to visit our mom, and we talked about the festival and how we met them, and that we were gonna have to get them to want to marry us. That was the goal.
That's awesome.
And she thought we were crazy. She didn't take it seriously at the time because
It wasn't too, much earlier than that, she was asking me about that aspect of my life, and I was kind of like, well, I may never get married. That was,
Right.
we met in August. I remember I had that conversation with her on the 4th of July.
That soon before?
Yeah, so
Oh, that's
1 month
funny.
earlier.
Actually.
1 month earlier, I said, I'll probably never get married. And then, bang, 1 month later. Yeah. So,
Wow. Life.
Okay, so we knew what Josh and Jeremy said. So what did the ladies say after you guys first met them?
We had actually been looking for them the whole festival. So we had spotted that Brittany had spotted them first. And then I knew exactly who she was talking about when she was like, Brianna. So we had been looking for them. And so when they were coming toward us down this hallway the last night, it was like yes. So we were happy that we'd actually gotten to meet them. We were wondering if the whole festival would go by and we wouldn't get our chance. So I think we were really, really happy that we had met them. Found them. And then we were like, we think it's them.
Yes.
We had this idea of like these twin guys. We don't know if does it exist, does it not exist. We were very positive and always tried to believe in it, but it was like, I think it's them. And it's like they really exist. I think it's them. Because we've been looking since when we were like in kindergarten. We were like, one day we'll marry identical twin brothers. So we always had this idea.
it was us.
And it was, yes, it was them.
That's so interesting. So when you guys first started officially dating, what was that energy like? Was it like excitement for everybody? Was there maybe some feelings of like, okay, how's this actually going to go down? Because your boyfriend looks like my boyfriend. Are we going to get him confused? What did that kind of feel like?
Oh, interesting question.
Felt like a relief.
right, and us being together and the two of them being together, it's always been a very natural thing. So I think when our relationship started, it just kind of fell right in line to our lifestyle already. We didn't have to really compromise anything in our life.
Because we were still together all the time, and that's, something that we enjoyed that. It's not, people like to say that there's codependency. That's a really common thing that people that critique. Right? They say you guys are codependent. It's not that. It's a choice that you're making. It's not like a need that. It is a need, but
Like we all understood.
We understand.
We all understood it.
It's through a
Right.
want and a desire that we do this. It's because we want to all be together because they're twins and they want to stay together and just like we do, and so it worked out perfectly
well.
Yeah. So it was like always double dates. We almost always went on double dates. I guess we always went on double dates, and then maybe like within the double date, then we'd break off
That's right.
into pairs. So it was
a lot of people asked us like, okay, so are you like all for dating? And we were like, no, no, it's like we're dating and they're dating. But it was just this really relieving dynamic for us. But we got a lot of strange looks.
Yeah. And there wasn't, to answer your question about like looks and so forth. So like there was, with identical twins and identical twins, some of that taboo, whatever that is, that people wonder about who are singletons, which is natural, I think, but it's not there once you're with other identical twins. Like we all get that. So when I was dating singletons, most of us dated, well, we all dated singletons at some point. So like that was always a factor, but just one-sided, whereas with twins and twins, it's like everybody gets it. So it was, and it's a non-issue.
And singletons are like people like me, like I don't know
Non-twins.
twins.
Non-twins.
Got it.
Yeah.
Non-multiples.
Yeah. Now, before you guys had met, and y'all probably all had dated some, like at least a singleton.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How did that go down in the sense of like, hey, what do you think of this lady? And I got, I'm dating this girl, right? How did that go down with y'all being identical, but y'all are dating separate people? What was the difference between that versus obviously what it is now?
I would say that there's a lot of jealousy from your boyfriend or girlfriend. If you're dating a singleton, you have a twin, and you want to spend a lot of time with your twin like we do. I think that creates that kind of a wedge and a lot of tension, I think. And if I'm being honest, most of the girlfriends I've had, I would just much rather just be hanging out with Josh. And it was just kind of like I knew she wasn't the one anyway.
Like the jealousy is not unfounded. Like they probably should feel that way, and
right.
it's understandable for them to feel that way. Where, honestly, I'm like trying to, what can I think of to say to where I can hang out with him tonight and not have to go hang out with her.
Right,
honestly,
we know what you...
and that's happened
So many
times.
excuses.
I'm like,
Right.
I gotta work, whatever is going on. I'm just making up stuff.
So why be even in the relationship at all? It's like it's kind of silly. But I don't know. I think you're trying to kind of go along with society's expectations, and it's such a rare thing to be able to find this, that it's not really something that you aspire to necessarily, something that's like this achievable thing if you believe and work hard enough kind of a thing. It's something that you have to get lucky, I guess. That's the best way to describe it, because we hope to find them, and we did, but I would imagine there's lots of people struggling, lots of sets of twins that are trying to do the same thing, that are struggling to find their set of twins.
And they can.
Yes.
And they can.
Yes. The stars just have to align. That's right. That's right. So yes, I think that it was always difficult, even though of course I think all dated some wonderful singletons. It's not like everyone was terrible, and some tried to be very understanding, and it was appreciated. It was just it was a miss. It was something that they couldn't understand. It was a part of me they couldn't understand, and I think Jeremy totally understands, and so it was like a relief to be together. I think it was natural for us to share money. We knew we didn't even have to discuss it. We would all live together. We would share finances. We would raise our children together. I feel like the mom of Jet, their child, and Jeremy feels like a dad also. Whereas I think if we'd married singletons, I would be feeling like that. But of course, the singleton spouse maybe wouldn't.
Yeah, even the family may not feel that in the sense.
Right.
Right.
When so with you guys being twins, together, a lot of people say, oh, you'll know if you're a fit for somebody based on zodiac sign or personality test or, time, day, whatever, right? So do you guys have that feeling or that analysis of a match based on that? Or is it because y'all are twins, right? And I ask that because it's hard because I don't have twins, so how would I know?
Well, it's funny. So we are Pisces and they are Scorpios, and those are considered really compatible. And so, and then we love the personality tests. We could talk with you about those. And so I think that all these different things, personalities, everything has to align. Yes, being twins is a big part of it, but we met in a sea of twins. The Twins Festival, there's tons of twins. So it's not just that we got together because, oh, we're all sets of twins,
Yeah.
you know? So,
That's right, yeah.
so many things have to align, and,
Yes.
you know, it
you know,
wasn't, yeah.
I don't know if it was the first or second time that we all got together, but the Myers-Briggs personality test.
Yes.
They wanted us to take that. I was like, I never heard of it or anything like that, and it maybe was a little bit at the time a little bit unusual, because I don't know.
So gracefully said.
Hey, you're not alone.
Yeah.
Hey, you're not alone. I take them all the time.
Awesome.
This must be a test of our compatibility, right? So let's get this right. You know what I mean? So yeah, I was really hoping that we were going to be compatible, and all of our personality types, they were compatible types, just like we
They have
were.
the same
so-
personality type. Ours are different.
Our twins have the same Myers-Briggs
Yes.
personality.
Are you
and
familiar with the Myers-Briggs personality test?
I've taken it. Yes.
It's like
Remind
a
me.
series of letters, like.
if you
It's
enjoy
4
those
letters.
sort of things, you might.
Okay, I don't know if this is. I just went to a matchmaking thing the other day, and I'm the achiever.
Okay.
That's all I
Yes,
know.
it would be something like that. Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
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 Very cool. It's just like a fun
Yeah.
roadmap to someone. Everyone's different.
No,
you know?
I think
Yeah.
these things are like, because some people are like, oh, zodiac signs, no, are a complete joke and like all this stuff. A lot of guys think that, but to be honest with you, I've analyzed just about every person I've met and known pretty well based on, okay, what is it? This is what it says. This is who I believe that they are based on what I've experienced. It's matched pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's definitely something to it for sure.
Yeah,
I feel
100%.
You read it and then you experience it. I mean, there's no
Yeah.
better proof than that.
Yeah,
It's just your own
totally.
experience.
And me and Josh, we don't have the same personality type, like people might expect.
And we don't either.
And they don't.
Right. But we're all N's, which is sort of like visionary, kind of big picture thinkers, kind of, analyzing things. And so we're all the second letter the same, N, which is, I think, very compatible.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm a Cancer, Libra, Scorpio.
Okay.
That's my like order.
Yes.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
So-
Have to look into our order.
I know.
How does that work? How is there 3 like that?
Apparently you it's like you have 3 of them, and it's like order of like your top, your middle, your end. So like I was born June 25th. Lionel Messi and Elon Musk were born like a day before and a day after me, and so they're in a very similar, almost exact order. But again, there's a lot of other, like a location, I guess, of like where on the equator.
Right.
That's, again, all I know. I've just been asked by a million different girls, so I was like, all right, look, I'm going to get into this.
We'll have to check it out.
Yeah. Sounds fun.
Yeah.
So based on like y'all's experience, like of going through these personality things, what were signs that y'all had experienced maybe individually that kind of gave you that like, this is a match? Like I definitely can feel that.
It's kind of begging the question. It was just like how I felt when I was around him. But I know that's kind of putting the question back in an answer for
Well,
him.
maybe it was comfort. I don't know,
There's a lot of times that we'll be doing something, or if it's, say we're watching something on TV, and I'll be thinking about something, and then she'll say something that is completely in line with what I'm thinking about, and it might be something totally random happening on the screen, and it's just like
What somebody's wearing or something,
Yeah.
something a small detail.
and
or
I'll be
something
thinking
like
of something about it, and then she'll say that,
Yeah, that makes
out
sense
loud.
to
It's
me
kinda
too.
Yeah.
we're on the same wavelength.
Right. I agree.
All
I agree.
the time that happens, actually.
And it's kind of like I'm trying to think how to explain it, but it's like he is my romantic other half. She is my literal other half. We were one, we split. And it was kind of like this feeling of, I'm not looking for my other actual twin. It's something very different, a different role, and he just filled it so well. And it's hard to explain why, but it's just the feeling of that. It's just the strong, like you're my romantic other half. It just fits so well.
Yeah, I almost felt like in some instances, like it'll almost feel like we have met before, kind of a feeling. And which is interesting because with identical twins, like you never meet, like you always just were, and then you were together and then you were separate. So like
Yeah, you've never known anything
Right.
other than being a twin. So when you may get the question as a twin, like, what's it like, having a twin? You don't really know what it's like to not have a twin. So it's a difficult question to answer when that gets asked, and it's a pretty frequent question.
Sure, and I think to that point, so like Brittany and I have never met. We've always just been, and then I feel like that with you. Like I feel like that with Jeremy. It'll be like, I don't know. It's like a recognition or a soulmate. There you go, a soulmate.
Yeah, so do you guys have that belief that there is a soulmate out for everybody? And if so, how does that go about of meeting them if you're not identical twins?
Yeah,
Or
I
if
think
you
that
are?
we have to believe it now, even if we're on the fence before, after this meeting, you
They
have
make us
to,
believe that.
exactly.
Yeah.
It has to be true now.
Likewise, like it must be. Like, yes, it was I think if you're really, really in love with someone, I think this goes for all multiplicity, so singletons, twins, triplets, everyone. I think that to really fall in love is like a spiritual experience.
Yeah, that's what makes it indescribable. People go on mushrooms and they're like, I can't tell you, like, honestly, because I don't know.
Right.
But with you guys being, so in sync, like living together, growing up together, born together, do you guys feel that like y'all's marriage is almost in sync in the sense of like, let's say that you guys are in a fight or, whatever, like, does that then, feed off to you guys or?
A little bit.
Because there's like seasons in life, right? Seasons in life where like some people are happiest November, December, right? I don't know why or what, holidays. And then like summertime can, be a little down. I don't know, right? Is that in sync usually for y'all?
It is, and you're right about, if there's any conflict between twins or couples, that does kind of radiate, to the others because, just tension in the room or just, how we interact at the time or something like that. So yeah, it's all kind of a united feeling, I guess, in the home, which is positive. We don't fight or anything really. I mean,
We have our moments, but we haven't had anything that we can't get past. But I think it's like every dynamic. There's so many dynamics, right? There's like couples, romantic couples, and then twins and twins and in-laws, and then the group dynamic. And yeah, every dynamic affects the other ones. Yeah, it does.
Yeah. What were you saying?
I was going to say that you hear a lot that marriage is hard. It takes work, I suppose, but I've never felt like it was hard at all. I never considered it a hard thing to be married, and I never quite understood when people say that. I assume that they may have a partner they're not supposed to be with. Is what it seems like to me. Because of my own experience. That marriage doesn't seem like it would be a difficult thing if you have a partner that is, with you. That's you do it together and.
Sure.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point, Jeremy. Yeah, it's like we've all heard that a lot. That like every day you got to wake up and just put in the work. Every day you have to work so hard in a marriage to make it work.
That doesn't sound
It's like
good.
but,
I already got a job.
yeah. But maybe it's not what people. Maybe people just mean to put in the effort, and I understand that.
Yeah, of course,
but
it's effort. It's not, totally effortless. There is some compromising and things like that, but I guess it's you're more willing. It's a willing compromise, not like I have to compromise now. So let's compromise.
Yeah, you choose to, do things like that.
So what are the pros and cons of having, again, twins marrying twins versus just a singleton?
Like a communal living situation, is ideal. I think for all people, not just twins. I think if you can live with your family, that's a great thing to do. It's financially much easier when you have several incomes in a home compared to just husband and wife. And then once you have kids, you have to worry about childcare, and that may take one person out of the workforce, and becomes very difficult. But with the four of us, we can all help each other with anything. We can help each other with the kids, and we can create the balance.
Yes, I think I'll hear maybe polygamous families, and I'm very against polygamy, I think we all are, but I will hear them they'll cite those reasons that Jeremy just named as reasons or benefits for living polygamy. And my reaction, even when I was little, was like, well, hang on, you can remove the sexual aspect and still have a monogamous romance with your own, you get your own, and then but have the community.
The other benefits,
and
yeah.
I think this is like perfect. I think this is a perfect situation. I understand that it's easiest with twins, especially identical twins and identical twins, but I do think everyone can have that. Like if you have your own spouse, but have your community or your family or that you share resources with.
Even like, right, if you siblings, cousins, or, these very, very close relationships where maybe it could work, like joint incomes, help each other.
Yes.
I couldn't afford a place like this on my own, for example, and it's just, I guess it is at least it's attainable even for non-twins, at least to some extent, if
Right.
it's wanted.
Don't always, like, I would encourage people that, like, have asked us, like, well, it couldn't work for me, but, how could it work if you're not a twin? Like, you just have to get out of there can only be one queen of the castle mentality.
Can't
Yeah.
have that, right.
Yeah. Okay, so obviously, again, twins marrying twins, like, and we have similar personality tests. What is one strength about each one of you that's different, that you have, that he doesn't have, that, she doesn't have?
To voice. It's hard to voice the traits.
And be confident about it, yeah.
What is my personality type?
You're an INFP.
And they are.
They're INFJs.
So what's the P?
It's more spontaneous than planning.
That's my strength, I guess.
And when you bring it to the group, like,
Right.
Yeah.
That's my different personality trait that I contribute, I suppose.
You're the most spontaneous, I think. And yes. But you're also sometimes very precise.
Yes, I do like to be spontaneous. I don't like to plan things. I never really have. I don't like, we're going to do this Friday kind of a thing. Kind of play it by ear a lot. Which, it's not always the best way, but sometimes it's
You can help live in the
appropriate.
moment, yeah.
Yeah. What about you? What's your
Let's see.
difference?
So I'm an ENTJ, so I'm the only extrovert out of the four of us, and I'm the only one that tests as like a thinker versus a feeler, even though, of course, feeling, but I lead with the thinking. So
I think there's a spectrum.
I think there's a
that you kind of
spectrum,
fall
yes.
in. I think you may have just passed into the E side.
Right.
So yeah, I think
Right.
it kind of works like that.
So more logic instead of like gut feeling, emotion.
So like I'm very intuitive. I'm just as intuitive, but I think it's sort of is like I don't react so fast. Like if something's going on, I'll really think about it before I decide to be in a bad mood or angry, because I'll go through like excuses for the situation logically, like, okay, maybe this person's having a bad day, maybe this person thinks I'm someone else, maybe this person, but then once, so I think maybe kind of the taking it all in. I'm also probably the itinerary person of the group. I have to kind of plan it,
She'll make
big
the itinerary
picture,
if we
but
go
then
anywhere.
I'm good at big picture and then like the steps to get there. Yeah, you
that's
are.
why you guys, you're spontaneous, you're, on the itinerary, so
I would
it's a
never do
balance.
an I would never make an
That's true.
itinerary. Might think
true.
about what I want to do in my mind, but I'm not going to log it out. But it is helpful, because that's especially when you travel. If you have a schedule like that, it is helpful.
Totally.
And what about you guys?
You're next.
Oh,
Let's go down the line.
well, I mean, I was going to say this, but I think the rest of you have this too. I was going to say it's maybe a unique mixture of dreamer and doer, but I think that about you three too. So I was trying to think in what way it's different than you three. And I don't know, but that's the first thought that came to my mind.
You can sort of be like Brittany's sort of like a shaker and mover when it comes to sort of life and death issues, I feel like. So like I think Brittany was the one that initiated it's time to have a child conversation kind of a thing. I think Brittany is, yes. And I think Brittany also sometimes will have like intuition about maybe if someone's like close to passing away. So like life and death things, I think she's the leader in. Out of the four
Big
of us.
steps, yeah.
Oh, Josh.
Got all this time to think about it.
So much.
I think I have a pretty good deal of patience and kind of a even temperament. I mean, I certainly have times where I like kind of lose my composure just like anybody else, but it's few and far between. I usually stay pretty steady and
Steadfast, definitely.
I'd more likely
try to counteract any, if there's any like tension and, you know, people not feeling good about a situation or whatever, I try to relieve that in that way by staying.
You're the Zen energy.
I want to be. I try to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
He is.
it's not, of course, not 100% of the time, but
He's
as
very,
much as I can, yeah.
Totally. He's just very, he is steadfast and grounded and almost like, it's kind of almost symbolic of how he's like connected to the earth. He's like, just even like gardening, he's just so grounded and he just has this calming effect and yeah.
kind of more of a wave this end. No, I do. I mean, I am, you know, calm and I'm an introverted person too, but yeah, I'm definitely more the one that's more likely to get upset and maybe vocalize it before waiting, you know, to calm down about something maybe.
Well, it's the yin and the yang.
Yeah,
You
sure,
know,
yeah.
that's why it's kind of needed. You know,
Yeah.
to create a balance.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah, different situations call for something different. So yeah, I think that we do all kind of have differences like that, you know, that maybe, I mean, they're pretty subtle, I think, but yeah.
So when you guys first started dating and then started marrying, have you ever had any friends, family, or just any random people maybe that you've known that kind of questioned you guys of doing this, of like, this is not a good idea, like you should separate, or?
Sure. Yeah, I think so.
We didn't have any family.
Right, families were great.
Yeah, they've always been awesome about it. I mean, there was surprise and, you know, some questioning in the beginning, you know, that I think is just natural reaction to it. You know, we're saying that we want to marry them, and so my mom is obviously like, you know, what's going on? Both of you guys are getting married right now. So yeah, not questioning, just as in like, this is what you guys want to do kind of thing. But no negativity. Our dad was just like, yeah, that's awesome. You know, he didn't have any, he actually didn't have any inquisition, you know, following that. You know, it was just kind of, he was happy to hear that. But yeah, most people have been supportive. But yeah,
their
you get
dad
your
passed
occasional
right-
like,
Oh.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
comment section.
Yeah, I was gonna say social media. That's probably.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say really quick, their dad passed right before we got married, but we were so thankful that he had the opportunity to know about us, you know, and so that was just something that was really, really awesome. And he was great about it. Our parents were great about it. Our mom-in-law was great about it. Certainly social media comments, yep. You know, you could be nothing but puppies and kindness and you'll get all the terrible comments, so
yeah.
to be expected.
It gets funny though.
Yeah, I mean, I never let it bother me. Like, I mean, not even one iota. It's,
You know, I'll appreciate something that I've never, maybe if they get a little bit more creative about it, at least, you know, I don't want to read the same thing over and over, but yeah, so if I see something that's maybe a little bit thinking outside the box, at least.
yeah.
But yeah, if you don't have a sense of humor about it, you know, then you probably shouldn't get on there reading any comments about anything or.
Yeah.
I think it showed me how people felt about us as friends or as colleagues or people. So I think most people were very happy for us and positive and like amazed, because it's just, what are the chances, you know, what are the odds of this happening? And then the rare person that had something negative, it was almost like they were upset we'd gotten the dream. And so it kind of was like an eye-opener, like, okay, this is how you feel. Yeah, but I think most people were wonderful.
Do you guys ever get a feeling being, you know, having a twin, they say like, or do you ever get that feeling of feeling like, I want to be different, or like I want to be seen as Josh and Josh only, like I don't want a Jeremy next to me? Did you ever get that feeling, or is that just never something that's crossed your mind?
I've
would
never
say that
sat
I
and
know.
thought that, you know, I've never sat and thought, you know, I just want to be known as Josh, but, you know, maybe, you know, we talked about this earlier. I think all twins maybe go through a certain phase throughout their life where they do seek that, maybe even subconsciously. But no, I've never consciously done that. But if I was, that may have been happening. And it seems like, that's the natural course of twins growing up, going through times where they may hang out with some different people on occasion and things like that,
Yeah, like you girls, like let's say that you wanted to dye your hair brunette, but you didn't. I mean, did ever feelings come up like that, but then you may have questioned like, wait, am I allowed to do that? Or like, should I do that?
So when we were 12, or I don't know, I hacked my hair off, looked terrible. And I think we were going through that. I think we went through this little phase when we were little girls, like we didn't want to be called the twins. We wanted to look a little bit different. But okay, like we have the same face, the same body. What looks good on Brittany is going to look good on Brianna. What looks bad on Brittany is going to look bad on Brianna. So I ended up feeling like, well, this was stupid. Now I look worse. So
people couldn't tell us apart anyway.
Right, and then people still couldn't tell us apart. But it was nonsensical. It was like, well, I mean, what was the point? Just to look different? No, you should look like the best version of yourself, which will be the best. She'll look the same, the best version of herself. So and that's okay.
Yeah.
I always felt like, because Brianna and I have spent years living in 2 different states, so we know what it's like to be apart. And I always, is it nice that someone knows Brittany for Brittany and Brianna for Brianna? And during those years, I knew people that she didn't, and vice versa. And it was always kind of, I almost felt those who didn't meet her, like they didn't quite know me fully. But so there's that aspect of, I want to be known for me, but part of me is having a twin. But a pet peeve growing up was when people would come up to us and say, you're an individual. Like if we were being too, I don't know, too close or too much of twins, or in their minds, like, you're an individual. And it always rubbed me the wrong way as a kid. Like, I know that. Why are you telling me that?
Yeah. Because, I mean, again, it's rare for people to be a twin, so it's like you guys have some sort of superpower that a lot of people don't have. So it's like, why are you telling me that I should be like this when I've got something you don't have? Not that it's like making you better than anybody. It's just like, they don't get it.
Right. That's such a nice way to say it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So now that you guys have sons, when they grow up, how similar do you think that they're going to be personality-wise, and their genes of potentially having twins, and how do you think that'll all sink in?
Oh, yeah. So we each have a son, and they're known as Quaternary twins because we had overlapping pregnancies, and the only way you can have genetic siblings less than 9 months apart from 2 different sets of parents is like this, when identical twins marry identical twins and have kids. Will they be similar? We're so excited to see. They've gone through stages where they look like identical twins, and now they're at a stage where they don't look a ton alike because they have different coloring. And it's still kind of changing, the hair color and a little bit of eye color. But the personality, they're definitely their own little.
Yeah, they have their own. They each have their own personality, and they are different, but they do kind of feed off of each other, and develop together. So they are very similar.
We'll see how it goes.
They're both 3, so.
Right.
And we imagine them growing up and meeting twin girls, or even quaternary twin girls, and of course they're going to be free to marry whoever they want. We're not going to force anything, but just cool. Parents' dream,
That'd be really interesting. Yeah. So like, I remember we talked about it earlier, but you guys said that they're categorized as brothers. So people are probably questioning, like, okay, obviously not physically like how they were created, but how are they categorized as brothers? Is it obviously identical genes is what makes it like that, or?
Right.
Yeah,
it is the genes.
Yeah. If the 2 kids took a genetic test, or a DNA test, both Brittany and I would show as the mom, and both Josh and Jeremy would show as their dad. So they
almost the same DNA from both
Right.
the moms and the dads.
We have, exact DNA match, and so do they. So our children, in turn have the same genetic profile as us. So that makes them genetically siblings.
Interesting. So there's people, that are watching that are probably looking for their match, of man or woman, but they obviously may not be twins. What are a few signs that you would know that like this is a match outside of the looks and like things that maybe societal thinking can create, like, oh, I think this is it, like this is my match, but it may not be, or it may be. But what are your signs that you would give to people to know that?
Oh, we love this topic because we love playing like Parent Trap and matching people, and it's great.
We think it would be really cool to be able to match twins who are interested in meeting sets of twins, kind of like a twin matchmatching.
But just like as a
situation.
general advice.
And also non-twins
Yeah,
with
but
non-twins.
yeah, as far as everyone,
I think it's that indescribable, magical
It's
feeling.
when you know, like you've probably heard before, but that is the truth. I mean, I feel like you will have a sense. Of course, you're going to have maybe some doubt, which is normal. I think you have to question what you're feeling, but that the feeling is what is there. Once you recognize it, and you'll realize that's your person forever. It is difficult to describe, but once it happens, you'll know.
Right. I would encourage everyone to sort of like throw out the list. Everyone should have the exact same list for what you're looking for, and it should be soulmate. So don't get caught up in your own head about like
Supposed to be from here.
Yeah.
This is more convenient if they're from here.
Right. Yeah.
And
Be adaptable to changing your lifestyle or your location and things like that, because none of that stuff is really that important. If you found someone that that you're supposed to be with, you can make everything else work.
Sure.
And so if you can work together to make that happen, then that's how you do it.
right.
I think a good indicator is if you feel like they're making you better, then that's probably your match.
That's really up there.
Yeah.
Well, I totally agree on how you guys are like saying you feel it's a match, because I've seen so many men and women who've said, oh, he's got to be 6'4", he's got to have brown hair, he's got to have this skin from here, from there. The guy's like, oh, he, she, this, that, whatever. It's like a whole list, and it never happens.
Right.
And that's a sad,
Right.
but.
And that's such a superficial
Yes.
list that
It's
people
easy to
have
say 'cause we
usually.
but-
Yeah, it is easy to say all these things. Yeah, sitting where we are with a soulmate, that's the best thing I got. Is that,
Yeah. Height doesn't
Right.
jobs, none of that stuff matters.
Yeah, they'll make you want to be better, and also support you to do things that improve your life together. And
Right. I think throw out titles. Even huge things like religion. Don't think about the title of this is just one example of like, okay, I'm this religion and I'm this religion. Do your beliefs align? Forget what it's called. Do your beliefs align? How you think about the world? Does it align? Do your goals align? But most importantly, do you enjoy each other's company just so tremendously, and how you feel with that other person? So if you have that, you have everything.
100%. Yeah, no, we were talking about that earlier. Like, you can believe in whatever you want to believe in, but like, are you a good person, right? And that's kind of the whole objective of the channel, is to like take off a label of what you believe in or what you're about or what you do, and are you a good person? Because again, you can have the same beliefs, but if you're not a good person, that's not a match. You got to get rid of them,
Absolutely. Think about what you are first. Yeah, be that first. And if you're a kind person, if you're a good person, you can recognize it in others. Yeah. So
Totally. Well, last question. What are you guys having more kids? Is this don't want to discuss? Is this like
no, I don't. We don't have a problem discussing it. I think that we can't say no. Of course, we wouldn't.
I mean, our kids they're 3 years old right now, so they're still very, very small, and we're still doing the baby stuff. I think that maybe when they're old enough to start school and they're going to school, then maybe feelings might change. But at this very moment, the thought of a newborn on top of this now, it maybe doesn't sound awesome.
She's trying to change her answer.
I mean, of course, you know, I would definitely roll with it if that was in the cards. But
Right.
it's for planning purposes.
We're so happy with our 2 boys, and it is still new.
We got 2 at once, and you know, we all co-parent, you know, both of them. So it feels like we already have 2 for everyone. So it's not like I just have 1. Maybe we'll just get another one. We got a 2 for 1 with that. So
want at least 4.
we feel fulfilled.
Yeah.
I guess I
Well,
should
hey,
say.
y'all have twins. It's gonna be what, 2, 4, 6. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for having this conversation. Where can guys people follow you on Instagram? What else do you guys do?
Mainly Instagram at Salyer's Twins.
Salyer's Twins. Cool.
Yes.
Well, thank you guys.
You've been awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for your amazing questions.
Of course, yeah. Well, we'll hopefully do this again if twins come out one day. We'll see.
We'll let you know.